Dear students, how real world objects or real world data is represented in a form of entity relationship model, right? How the one entity to the another entity we are going to make a relationship, right? And we will learn the cardinality and participation constraint on this entity relationship diagram, right? So dear students, before going to the actual content of the today presentation, we will see the outline of the presentation. So that is a entity concepts we learn, and attributes and relationship, ER diagrams, cardinality and participation constraint. So these are the concepts we are going to learn in this class, right? So first one we will discuss what is a entity. So we can say entity is a real world object. It may be belongs to the anything, like it is a person, place, event, etc., which are stored in a database. So I mean to say entity is any real world object. So real world object, so which data the real world object which store the data in a database, so that one we call it as a entity, right? So example, student, employee, book, department, etc., right? So we already seen what is a entity, right? So entity means simple, it is a real world object which stored data into the database, right? So that is a entity. Next one is a entity set. So from high school mathematics, set is a collection of similar elements or elements, right? So here also same entity set. So entity set means it collection of similar entities, right? Example, student. So Rahul, Priya, Anil, these are the people. So they are all belongs to the student set, right? So that's why we call it as it is a entity set. All student together from the student entity set. So we call it as all student belongs to the student entity set, right? So I hope students are clear with the what is a entity and what is a entity set, right? Next one we see types of entity, right? We'll see the different types of entities. So first one, that is a strong entity. So that means that it is existed independently. That means that it is not dependent on any other person, and same time it has its own primary key. We'll see one example also so that you will get understand. So take the relation student table. So in a student table there is student ID, student name, right? Student ID is a primary key useful in a student table. So we call it as this is the strong entity. Entity set, we already seen, it is a collection of similar entities. Weak entity, it cannot be exist without another. So it depends on the strong entity and partial key. So it means that, for example, you take the employee works on department. If you take this one, employee is a independent, right? Dependent is a dependent. Department is a dependent, right? Without employees, the department won't be exist. So that means that department is completely dependent on employee. But employee is not dependent on anything. Employee is a independent thing. So that's the way we can say employee is a strong entity. So department we call as a weak entity. So in a weak entity, how we are categorized by simple fundamental idea. If primary key is existed, so then we can say it is a strong entity. If it is primary key is not existed, then we can say it is a weak entity. So now I hope students are clear with the what is a strong entity and what is a weak entity. A simple idea, simple fundamental. If it is primary key is there, then we can say it is a strong entity. Otherwise, weak entity. Simple funda. Right. So what is a primary key? Primary key is a key which is used to identify the uniquely in each record of the table. So that is a primary key. This concept we already cover in a third lecture also. Right. So next one, attributes. So what is the attribute? Attribute and properties of entity set. So what is the attribute? Attribute is a property of entity. So what is the property of entity? Student is a entity, let us say. So what is the properties of student? Student ID, student name, age, address, all those things are properties of student. So all these things we call it as a attributes. So all these properties we call it as a attributes. Right. So now you can see, so student is a one entity. So what are the properties? Student ID, name, age, address. So these all are belongs to the properties of student entity. Also we call it as a these properties into the entities of the student. Sorry, attributes of the student. Right. So in attributes there will be categorized into the different types. So first one we will see simple attribute. So what is a simple attribute? It cannot be divided further. So we cannot divide again further. Example, it is a age and gender. So these two are the simple attribute. Next one is a composite attribute. So it can be divided into the smaller parts. So that one we can say it is a composite attribute. Right. Example, address. So in address you can take street is a one part, city is a one part, state is a one part, pin code is a one part, landmark is a one part, etc. etc. It comes under part of the address. So then we can say address is a composite key. Right. Next, single value and multi-valued attribute. Right. In a single value attribute, only one value, that is a date of birth. Every person having only one date of birth. There is no other one. So that's the reason we can say it is a single value attribute. So multi-value attribute. One example, phone number and mail ID. One person may have multiple phone numbers. Right. So one person may have multiple email address. So these are the major difference between the single value and multi-valued attribute. So next one is a derived attribute. So its name is suggesting that derived attribute. It means that you are deriving the attribute something you are deriving from the particular attribute. So those attribute we call it as a derived attribute. Let us say you take the age, right? So age is derived from the date of birth, right? Age is derived from the date of birth. So that's why we call it as a age is a derived attribute, right? So next one, relationships in ER diagrams. So what is a relationship? So relationship, it will show the how entities are connected. We already seen what is an entity, how entities are connected, that will be explained by the a relationship. Right. So in examples of relationship, student enroll the course. This is a one relationship. Employee works in department. This is a one relationship. So what is that one? Why I am saying it is relation? Student is a entity. Similarly, course is a one entity. Enroll is a making a relationship between the student and course. Similarly, employee is a one entity. Department is a one entity. So works is a making a relationship between the employee and department. Right? I hope students are clear with the what is a relationship. Right? So is this relationship further classified into the three categories? So that we call it as a degree of relationship. So that is a unary. Also we call it as a recursive. Only one entity are involved. Right? Employee manage itself is itself. So employee manage the employee. So only one person involving and he will manage by his own. So that one we call it as a unary relationship. Next one, binary relationships. Two entities are involved. If it is one entities are involved, then we can say it is a unary relationship, and two entities are involved, then we can say it is a binary relationship. Right? If it is more than two, so then we can say it is a ternary. Doctor, medicine, patient, right? So, etc. Right? So, very simple funda. If one entity is involved, that is a unary relationship. If two entities are involved, it is a binary relationship. More than two, it is a ternary relationship. Right? Next one. So now I want to represent the ER diagram in a pictorial form, as like as a flow chart. I want to represent the ER diagram in a pictorial form. So for that one, so visual representation, we are going to use the some of the symbols for representation in a ER. Right? So first one is a rectangle. We will use the rectangle for representation of entity. Example, employee, department is a entity. Similarly, we use the double rectangle. We used to represent it is a weak entity. Right? It is a dependent. So that's why you are using the weak entity. Just to recapitulate the concept which we are discussing in attributes. So you can see attribute here, simple attribute, composite attribute, and same time entities. So these concepts we are going to use to represent in a pictorial form in a ER diagrams. Next one, diamond. So diamond will be represent a relationship. Okay, it will be representing a relationship. For example, you want to build the relationship between the two entities or more than two entities. So then we have to use the diamond symbol which describe the relationship between the one or more entities. Next, double diamond. It will use it to represent the identifying relation. E is for, like that you will use. Right. Next one, oval symbol. So oval symbol will be used for attribute, like student attribute, student ID, student name, student address. All this we call it as a attributes. Double oval, multi-valued attributes like phone number, email, etc. Dashed oval. So dashed oval we will represent the derived attribute like years of employee. How many years he is working, or what is the duration of service duration in this particular institute. What is the duration of the employee? How long he is working? Or you can say it is a date of birth, age. Age will be derived from his date of birth. Similarly, service period. So when he is enrolled, now what is the present year? So we'll do calculation using the both joining year and present working year. So that is a year of employee. Underline attribute. If your attribute will be underlined, so then it will be the primary key. That is the employee ID, department, etc. Right. So example we see student schema. We'll see one student schema. Right. So we will try to build the ER diagram for student schema. The sentence is the student enrolls the course. So what are the entities here? Student is a one entity, course is a one entity. Right, student and course is a one entity. I am finding the attributes of a student like student ID, student name, etc. Composite, course is a composite. So this is a simple way to build the ER diagram. Similarly, employee schema. Employee is works for department. So employee department is a entity, works for is making a relationship between the employee and department. So these are the two examples of ER diagrams. Right. So next one, cardinality. So cardinality will specify how many entities are participate in a relationship. Right. For example, employee works department, let us say. Right. So this is the one ER model. Simple understanding. It is a one ER model. Right. So cardinality will tell how many entities are participating in a relationship. So that means that this is the one entity, this is the one entity. How many entities are participating in this particular relationship? So that will explain the cardinality. So that will be one to one, one to many, one to many, and next many to one and many to many. So these are the four categories of cardinality. So first one employee manages the one department. So this is the one to one cardinality. Next one, example, one passport belongs to the one citizen. So passport is a one, and same time it is one citizen also one. So in that case, one passport belongs to the one citizen. It is making relationship between a one to one. So next one is a one to many. One department has many employees. So department is one, but many employees are working. So that is making a relationship with 1 to n. Example, one teacher can teach the many students. So this is a 1 to n relationship. Next one, many to one. So many employees belongs to the one department. So these are the one example, employees belongs to the one department. Many to many students enroll the many courses. So here also many, here also many. So it is indicates the many to many relationship or m to n relationship. Right. I hope students are clear with the cardinality also. So next one, participation constraint. So participation constraint means how this participation will tell how the entities are participation. So simple we can say entity we seen, right? So entity is participation in a relation is a mandatory or not. So participation constraint will tell entity should participate in a relationship is a compulsory or not. So that is will explain the participation constraint. So constraint is a condition, participation means whether entity will participate 100% or it will not participate. So that is a participation constraint. Alright. So these participation constraints also will categorize it into the two categories. One is a total participation, one is a partial participation. Right. So I am explaining once again participation. Right. So participation will tell you whether that particular entity participation in a relation is a mandatory or optional. Right. So we say simple example, employee, department, right, works, let us say. Right. So in a employee works, department, right. So here entity is a employee, department is a entity. Right. So this employee and department, whether it is a participation is a mandatory in this relation or not. So that is a participation. So this participation will be categorized into two categories. One is a total participation, one is a partial participation. Total participation means every entity must participate. So there is no optional. Example, like every employee must belongs to the one department, belong to a department. That means that every is there. So it is a mandatory to participate the every employee in a department. So this is the total participation. If I write not every employee manage the department, so that means that it not a condition is there. That means that it is a not compulsory or mandatory to manage the department. So it is name, it is suggesting that it is a not compulsory. So those things will say it is a partial participation. Right. I hope students are clear with these two. Right. So coming to the summary, today class what we are discussing, we discuss the what is a entity. Right. Entity is a real world object which store the data into the database. So that is an entity, and we discuss the attributes, and attributes along with the properties and characteristics and types of attributes also we already cover. So relationships and ER diagrams also we discuss, and at the end we discuss the cardinality and participation of the entities we already discussed. Right. So now I am stopping lecture here. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please press the bell button and share to your friends. If you like the content, please subscribe to my channel and share to the needy people. If you have any doubt, please write in a comment box. So thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture.